Confidence is more than just a word. It is the unseen sail that helps us navigate the vast ocean of life. And fear is the heavy anchor that keeps our ship of potential from ever reaching the shore. Without this sail, life is like an aimless vessel drifting with the currents, but never arriving at a destination. Those who bind themselves in the invisible chains of shyness and fear are destined to be lost in the shadows, no matter how brightly the flame of their talent burns. Today we will hear the story of such a young man who conquered his inner fear and witnessed a new dawn. This is a story about awakening the sleeping lion within. Stay with us until the end. Many years ago, in a bustling city, there lived a merchant of fragrant spices. His shop was like a treasure chest, where the air was thick with the aroma of saffron, cardamom, and medicinal herbs brought from faraway lands. His small world revolved around his wife and their 2 sons. His younger son was as bold and spirited as Cinnamon. He would charm customers with his wit, and everyone was impressed by his intelligence. But his older son was the exact opposite, a quiet, shy soul who seemed to blend into the shadows in a corner of the shop. He was afraid to look people in the eye, and when he tried to speak, his throat would run dry. Many mistook his silence for foolishness. Some would even take advantage of his simplicity, but he would endure it all, without a word. His son's timid nature cast a long shadow of disappointment over the father's heart. One evening, the father placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "When will you learn to take charge of this business? Look at your younger brother, how quickly he learns everything." The young man, unable to meet his father's gaze, just lowered his head. His silence only deepened his father's frustration. Sometimes, in moments of anger, he would speak harsh words to him. Each of the father's rebukes was like a stone thrown at the glass palace of his confidence, shattering it piece by piece. As he grew older, this lack of confidence cast a dark shadow over every aspect of his life. He couldn't focus on his studies, and in the examination hall, he would forget known answers out of sheer panic. He was slowly being left behind. When he became a young man, his father asked him to join the family business. Not wanting to disappoint his father, he agreed. But an invisible wall of fear always surrounded him. His hands would tremble, and the accounts of precious saffron would blur before his eyes. He would freeze up while trying to talk to customers. Seeing this, his father's disappointment turned into rage. One day, the merchant was out of the city. Seizing the opportunity, a few cunning men came to the shop with a fabricated story. They said, slightly lower, conspiratorial tone, "We have come for special herbs for the royal physician. Your father sent us." The young man's gut told him something was wrong, but looking into their sharp, intimidating eyes, he couldn't muster the courage to protest. Before his very eyes, they walked away with the most valuable spices and herbs in the shop. When his father returned at night and saw the empty boxes, his anger erupted like a volcano. He screamed, "You worthless boy! You have ruined me!" Louder, "Get out of my sight! There is no longer a place for you in this house." Those thunderous words shattered the young man's heart. The sound of people's laughter on the streets felt like sharp thorns piercing his soul. He felt like the most worthless, helpless person on earth. Heartbroken, he wandered aimlessly until he reached the riverbank. Shame and humiliation made it hard for him to breathe. As he prepared to end his story forever in the cold water of the river, a soft but firm hand touched his shoulder. he saw a wise-looking old man holding him. The young man collapsed in tears and said, "Why did you save me? My useless life has no value." The old man smiled gently and said, "My child, life is a gift you receive only once. To run from failure is to accept defeat. As long as there is breath, there is a chance to rise again." In a hopeful tone, "You do not know the immense power that lies hidden within you." The young man cried, "I am shy. I am weak. Everyone thinks I am a fool. Do I even have the right to live?" The old man said, "You will find the answers to all your questions yourself. But for that, you must pass 3 tests of mine. If you succeed, your life will be transformed." Filled with a newfound hope, the young man agreed. On the first day, the old man asked him to speak to 10 strangers. At his first attempt, no words came out. But later, while talking to an old woman, he discovered that every person carries a story within them. On the second day, the old man asked him to teach a group of children about the importance of water. He panicked at first, but looking into their innocent eyes, he conquered his fear and realized that wisdom is not confined to the pages of books. On the third day, the old man asked him to go back to his father and ask for forgiveness. This was the hardest test of all. With trembling legs but a determined heart, he walked home and apologized for his mistake. Seeing the change in his son's eyes, the father embraced him. After completing the 3 tests, the young man asked the old man, "What is the real secret to success?" The wise old man smiled and said, "You have discovered the secret yourself. Your real enemy was not your shyness. It was the fear that kept your inner strength hidden. The world is a mirror. It reflects back at you the image you present to it. When you stand with confidence after conquering your fear, no one will ever see you as weak. True strength does not come from the outside. It is born from the belief you have within yourself." From that day on, the young man was reborn. He no longer allowed fear to be the driver of his life. A few years later, that shy boy became a legendary spice merchant in the city. Remember, confidence is not a gift you are born with. It is a skill you build. Fear and doubt are the rust that dulls the sharp sword of our potential. The only way to polish that sword is with courage and perseverance. The comfort zone is a beautiful cage, but to fly, you must step out of it. Believe in yourself and conquer your fears one small step at a time. You will discover a power within you capable of moving mountains, because the strength inside you is far greater than you can ever imagine. What was the biggest fear you've ever conquered? Share your story in the comments below, because your journey can inspire others. For more stories that awaken the lion within, make sure to subscribe and become a part of our community. Until next time, stay strong.